Throughout history, swords have transcended their utilitarian function as weapons, becoming symbols of power, legacy, and even magic. In the realm of Norse mythology, these blades take on an even deeper significance, becoming intertwined with the fates of gods, heroes, and entire kingdoms. Today, we explore the captivating stories of three legendary swords: Gram, Mistilteinn, and Tyrfing. Our exploration begins with Gram, a sword synonymous with the legendary hero Sigurd, and his epic quest to slay the fearsome dragon Fafnir. Forged from the shattered remnants of his father Sigmund's sword, Gram becomes a symbol of vengeance and Sigurd's destined path. The sword's sharpness is legendary, capable of cleaving an anvil in two and slicing through a strand of wool floating on a stream. Its true power, however, is revealed in the slaying of Fafnir, a feat that solidifies Sigurd's place as a hero of unparalleled might. Next, we encounter Mistilteinn, a sword shrouded in mystery and wielded by the hero Hromundur Gripsson. This blade, once belonging to the undead king Thrine, is imbued with a dark power. Hromundur's quest to claim Mistilteinn leads him into a perilous battle within the king's burial mound, where he emerges victorious, the sword's power now his own. Mistilteinn becomes instrumental in Hromundur's exploits, yet its magic proves fickle, disappearing and reappearing in unexpected ways. Finally, we confront the enigmatic Tyrfing, a sword forged by dwarves but burdened with a terrible curse. Its creation is steeped in coercion and resentment, leading to a legacy of bloodshed and tragedy. Passed down through generations, Tyrfing leaves a trail of destruction, claiming the lives of kings and warriors alike. Its curse dictates that it must taste blood whenever it is drawn, and its wielder is ultimately doomed to a violent end. Our journey begins with Gram, a sword synonymous with the legendary hero Sigurd, and his epic quest to slay the fearsome dragon Fafnir. Forged from the shattered remnants of his father Sigmund's sword, Gram becomes a symbol of vengeance and Sigurd's destined path. The sword's sharpness is legendary, capable of cleaving an anvil in two and slicing through a strand of wool floating on a stream. Its true power, however, is revealed in the slaying of Fafnir, a feat that solidifies Sigurd's place as a hero of unparalleled might. Gram's story is deeply intertwined with the Volsung saga, a tale of heroism, betrayal, and divine intervention. The sword first appears as a gift from Odin, disguised as a traveler at a wedding feast. Odin plunges the sword into a tree, declaring that whoever can pull it free shall possess it. Only Sigmund, Sigurd's father, succeeds, marking him as the sword's rightful owner. However, Gram's journey is fraught with tragedy. King Sigurd, envious of the sword's power, orchestrates the death of Sigmund's family and captures Sigmund himself. The sword is lost for a time, but eventually returns to Sigmund, who uses it to escape and avenge his kin. Gram serves Sigmund well in countless battles, but its fate takes a turn during a final confrontation. Odin, appearing on the battlefield, shatters the blade, signaling Sigmund's demise. The broken pieces are entrusted to Sigmund's wife, Hjordis, who keeps them safe for their unborn son, Sigurd. Years later, the fragments of Gram are reforged by the skilled dwarf Regan, creating a weapon worthy of Sigurd's lineage. As a testament to its might, Sigurd cleaves an anvil in two with a single stroke. Armed with Gram, he embarks on a quest to slay Fafnir, the dragon guarding a vast treasure. In a legendary confrontation, Sigurd uses Gram to pierce Fafnir's heart, slaying the beast and fulfilling his destiny. Gram's role in this pivotal act solidifies its place as a symbol of heroism and the enduring power of myth. Through its journey, from Odin's hands to Sigmund, and finally to Sigurd, Gram stands as a testament to the intertwined themes of divine destiny, heroism, and tragedy that define Norse mythology. Its legacy as the sword of dragon slayers and kings ensures its place as one of the most storied weapons in myth. Our journey now leads us to Mistilteinn, a sword shrouded in mystery and wielded by the hero Hromundur Gripsson. This blade, once belonging to the undead king Thrine, is said to possess a dark power. Hromunder's quest to claim Mistilteinn takes him into a dangerous battle within the king's burial mound, where he emerges victorious, the sword's power now his own. Mistilteinn becomes crucial in Hromunder's adventures, yet its magic proves unpredictable, disappearing and reappearing in unexpected ways. The saga tells us that Thrym was a king who ruled in Valand, before retreating to his barrow with his wealth. As a Draugr, Thrym guards his burial mound with unnatural strength and malice, keeping away any would-be thieves. His most prized possession is Mistilteinn, a blade said to hold deadly power. According to the saga, Thrym had used the sword to kill 420 men during his lifetime, including King Seminger of Sweden, King Olafur of Denmark, accompanied by his warriors, including Hromunder Gripsson, learns of Thrym's treasure and the sword Mistilteinn. When they locate the burial mound, it becomes clear that no one but Hromunder has the courage to enter. Hromunder ventures inside, where he encounters Thrym in a fierce, lengthy battle. The Draugr proves a formidable opponent, but Hromunder ultimately defeats him, burning his body to ensure he does not return. From the mound, Hromunder claims Mistilteinn as his prize. Along with Thrym's treasure, Mistilteinn proves its worth in battle soon after Hromunder claims it. During a conflict between King Olafur and two invading Swedish kings, both named Haldingar, Hromunder wields Mistilteinn to deadly effect. He kills Helgi in Frakni, the Valiant, a champion who had slain Hromunder's brothers. However, tragedy strikes when Mistilteinn is lost in the water due to witchcraft, depriving Hromunder of his most potent weapon. The loss is deeply felt, but fate soon intervenes. Mistilteinn is later discovered inside the stomach of a pike, miraculously recovered and restored to Hromunder. Despite its return, Mistilteinn fails Hromunder during a pivotal moment. In a confrontation with King Haldingar, the sword proves ineffective. Hromunder is forced to rely on a club to kill the king, highlighting that even a legendary blade has its limitations. Following these events, Hromunder faces slander at the court of King Olafur, which forces him to leave the king's service. He returns, however, to aid in the defense against the Swedish kings Haldingar and their champion Helgi Haddingjaskáti, who is protected by the magical powers of his lover, Kara. During the battle, Kara takes the form of a swan and flies overhead, singing an enchantment that causes Helgi's enemies to falter. Using this magic, Helgi slays 8 of Hromunder's brothers. When Hromunder arrives, Helgi swings his sword but accidentally cuts Kara's wing, breaking her spell. Without her magical protection, Helgi is vulnerable, and Hromunder kills him in combat. Severely wounded, Hromunder is still victorious, but loses Mistilteinn once more. His rival at court, Vali, briefly takes possession of the sword, but Hromunder ultimately kills Vali and reclaims Mistilteinn. Mistilteinn's saga reflects a recurring theme in Norse mythology: the interplay between human heroes and supernatural forces. As a weapon forged in legend and wielded against both the living and the undead, Mistilteinn embodies the power and danger of magical swords in Norse lore. Though it proves unreliable at times, the sword's legacy as a symbol of Hromunder's courage and determination endures in the mythological record. Our exploration now turns to the enigmatic Tyrfing, a sword forged by dwarves but burdened with a terrible curse. Its creation is steeped in coercion and resentment, leading to a legacy of bloodshed and tragedy. Passed down through generations, Tyrfing leaves a trail of destruction, claiming the lives of kings and warriors alike. Its curse dictates that it must taste blood whenever it is drawn, and its wielder is ultimately doomed to a violent end. The story of Tyrfing begins with Svafarlami, a king descended from the god Odin. Desiring a weapon of unparalleled quality, Svafarlami traps the dwarves Dvalin and Durin, master smiths renowned for their skill. Forced to forge a sword, the dwarves produce a weapon of extraordinary beauty and power. Its hilt gleams with gold and its blade shines like fire. They enchant it with 3 remarkable traits. It will never miss its target, it will never rust, and it can cut through iron and stone as easily as cloth. However, The dwarves, angered by their captivity, curse the sword before delivering it to Svafarlami. They decree that it will bring death every time it is drawn, cause 3 great evils, and ultimately lead to the death of its owner. Enraged by the curse, Svafarlami attempts to kill the dwarves, but they vanish into the rock, leaving the sword and its fate in his hands. Tyrfing brings Svafarlami many victories, but the curse soon takes hold. In a battle with the berserker Arngrim, the sword betrays its master. As Svafarlami strikes at Arngrim, Tyrfing's blade becomes lodged in the ground, giving Arngrim the opportunity to sever Svafarlami's hand. Arngrim takes the sword and kills the king, fulfilling the first part of the curse. He then marries Svafarlami's daughter and passes Tyrfing on to their son, Angantyr. Angantyr wields Tyrfing in a duel for the hand of Ingeborg, the daughter of King Yngvi. However, Ingeborg chooses Hjalmar, a Swedish champion, over Angantyr. Consumed by rage, Angantyr challenges Hjalmar to a duel on the island of Samsu. The battle is fierce, and though Angantyr and his 11 berserker brothers fight valiantly, they are slain by Hjalmar and his companion, Orvar Odd. Tyrfing, true to its curse, inflicts a mortal wound on Hjalmar before the duel ends. As he dies, Hjalmar sings his death song and asks Orvar Odd to return his body to Ingeborg, who collapses and dies upon seeing him. This marks Tyrfing's first great evil. After Angantyr's death, his daughter Hervor, raised as a bond servant, learns of her lineage and decides to claim her inheritance. Disguising herself as a warrior, she travels to her father's burial mound on Samsu. There, she confronts the ghost of Angantyr, who warns her of Tyrfing's curse. Undeterred, Hervor threatens to curse the dead if they do not surrender the blade. Angantyr relents, and Tyrfing emerges from the mound, burning like fire. Hervor takes the sword and uses it in various battles, continuing the blood-soaked legacy of her family. Hervor eventually marries and has 2 sons, Heidrek and Angantyr the younger. Tyrfing passes to Heidrek, who becomes embroiled in its curse. During a quarrel with his brother Angantyr, Heidrek unsheathes Tyrfing. Bound by the sword's curse, Heidrek strikes Angantyr down, committing fratricide and marking the second of Tyrfing's great evils. Heidrek rises to power, becoming king of the Goths. However, his victories are overshadowed by Tyrfing's sinister influence. On one occasion, Heidrek uses the sword to strike at Odin, who appears in disguise. Odin transforms into a hawk to escape the blow, but the incident hints at Tyrfing's potential to harm even the gods. Tyrfing's final evil occurs during Heidrek's reign. While camped in the Carpathian Mountains, Heidrek is betrayed by his own servants, who attack him in his sleep and kill him with his own sword. This act fulfills the dwarves' curse, completing the 3 great evils tied to Tyrfing. Heidrek's son, Angantyr III, avenges his father by capturing and executing the servants. With Tyrfing in hand, he becomes the next king of the Goths. However, his reign is challenged by his illegitimate half-brother, Hlod, who demands half the kingdom. When Angantyr refuses, Hlod gathers an army of Huns and invades. The ensuing battle is catastrophic. Despite being vastly outnumbered, the Goths prevail, thanks to Tyrfing. Angantyr kills Hlod on the battlefield, and the rivers are choked with the bodies of the dead, creating floods that fill the valleys. Tyrfing's legacy is cemented in the bloodshed it leaves behind. Tyrfing's story is one of brilliance and devastation. As a weapon, it embodies the height of dwarven craftsmanship, capable of cutting through anything and shining with an unearthly light. Yet its curse ensures that it remains a tool of death and tragedy, bringing ruin to all who wield it. The sword's role in the Tyrfing cycle highlights the Norse themes of fate, the dangers of power, and the inescapable consequences of greed and hubris. Tyrfing's legacy as a blade, both feared and revered, ensures its place among the most iconic weapons in Norse mythology. As we conclude our exploration of these legendary swords, we are left with a deeper understanding of the complex world of Norse mythology. These tales of valor, tragedy, and the enduring power of fate continue to resonate with audiences today. ensuring that the allure of these ancient stories remains as sharp as the blades themselves. But the stories don't end here. The echoes of these legendary weapons continue to reverberate through our own lives, offering valuable lessons about power, courage, and the choices we make. From Graham, we learn the importance of perseverance and the power of destiny. Sigurd's unwavering determination in the face of adversity serves as a reminder that even the most daunting challenges can be overcome with courage and a sense of purpose. Mistilteinn teaches us about the unpredictable nature of power and the importance of self-awareness. Hromunder's reliance on the sword's magic ultimately leads to his downfall, highlighting the dangers of relying on external forces for strength and guidance. Tyrfing serves as a cautionary tale about the destructive nature of unchecked ambition and the consequences of succumbing to greed and vengeance. The sword's bloody legacy reminds us of the importance of wielding power with responsibility and compassion. By reflecting on these stories, we can gain valuable insights into the human condition and the timeless struggles that we continue to face. The lessons learned from these legendary swords can guide us in our own journeys, inspiring us to embrace our inner heroes and forge our own paths towards a brighter future. Thanks for joining us in exploring the myths behind Graham, Mistilteinn, and Tyrfing, blades that carried both power and ruin. If stories of fate, betrayal, and cursed glory call to you, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. There's much more to uncover. These swords weren't just tools of heroes. They were traps forged with promises that came at a deadly price. To wield one was to gamble with your soul, to step into a story where the ending was never yours to decide. Would you take that risk? Could you bear the weight of a weapon that shapes the lives and deaths of everyone it touches? The legends may have been written, but the shadows they leave behind still whisper. Stay with us, and let's uncover what they have to say. Until next time.